Hello, people of God. All right, so welcome to my YouTube channel. So basically, today I'd like us to discuss something. You know what? Let's rub minds together. Today I'd like us to discuss a topic that there's no how you think of IELTS. There's no how you talk about it or you hear people talk about it, and it doesn't like pop up in the conversation or even cross your mind anytime you're thinking about it. Wondering what? Now, it's about why people think IELTS is hard. Why do you actually, why do we have this particular phenomenon hanging over our heads? So, in this video today, I'm going to try as much as possible to share my own opinion regarding this. I try as much as possible to, because this is something that I have in my line of job, like been exposed to. So I kind of have a few opinion regarding that and I'd like to share it with you. All right, so stay with me in this video if this is something you're interested in. All right. So basically, like I said, you know what? I want us to gist. I want us to look at the whole thing together and try to come up with a solution. The aim of this video is not necessarily to highlight it, but also to provide a solution to the reasons why we all feel that, or some people, a lot of people feel that IELTS is hard. Or now, this is quite different from why some people fail IELTS. What I'm discussing today is one of the reasons why people fail IELTS because they think it is hard. But I'm also basically maybe peradventure do another video on why many people fail IELTS. Take out your glasses. Ojuloro. All right, again, so I have my note here to guide me today because I've actually made a whole lot of notes. Okay, now this video is actually inspired by a phone call I had say 2 weeks ago. I had a client call me and she said, "Oh, my name is this, and one of your past students actually referred you to me. I'm calling from the UK. My brother is in Nigeria. I'd like him to take the IELTS test and all of that and all of that." And then I gave out all the information about the private classes and blah 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 blah. And then she said, "You know what? Let me get back to you. Let me talk to my brother." And then when she called me back, she said that the enthusiasm the brother is giving her is not that why is this exam hard safe. In my mind I was like, here we go again. Now, so why do people think IELTS is hard? Now, there's only one reason why people feel that IELTS is hard, and trust me, it has to do with our mindset. My pastor actually said it, and in a way, coincidentally, he said it in the Sunday service. He said that mindset is usually sponsored by a belief system. Mindset is usually sponsored by a belief system. So people tend to have a particular mindset because of something that they believe in. Now, why is it then that what's that belief system that is informing people having that mindset that IELTS is hard? So I have quite a number of reasons here that I've actually highlighted. But anyways, so one of the things that I feel is responsible for people having this mindset, number one, is some people are naturally fearful. Now, I'm talking about the kind of people that the moment you say, yay, they faint. Like, they are gone. That kind of thing. So, there are some people that are naturally fearful. Okay, so for this set of people, the kind of solution that I would just basically tell them or prefer is, just try as much as possible to take it off your mind. Like, IELTS is not something to be fearful about. Okay, so just try as much. Stop fainting. Stop. Just take it out of your mind if you can. Okay, now the second reason why I feel people feel the IELTS exam, people think the IELTS exam is hard, is the natural fear that comes with the exam. The natural fear, like the natural exam fever that we normally have. Now, usually when I teach or when I share information concerning IELTS, I am not just giving this information as an instructor of some years and stuff like that. No, now I'm actually coming from a place of personal experience, because my first contact with IELTS was for a personal reason, not because I wanted to teach IELTS. It was for something personal. Now, so when we talk about exam fever, it's not something that I am not aware of. The first time I wrote the IELTS exam, yes, perhaps I was a little bit fearful in the course of preparation. That's number one. And I remember the second time I was taking it, the whole of the exam was filled with my student. At first, I didn't, because I was already an instructor then. At first, it didn't really dawn on me. And then I felt like, okay, these are like in the class of 30, I think about 25 of them were my students, which I was teaching at a particular center. So, maybe I'll share the experience in another video. But one thing I just want to highlight from that experience is, then it dawned on me at that point in time that, oh, for me, at the end of the day, your result is going to come out with this, your student. And trust me, on that WhatsApp group, Telegram group, they're going to ask, oh, hello, Mrs. Fumi, how was the result? Now, I was nervous, like, so different reasons why people have exam fever. So it is absolutely normal. Now, one thing that has always there was a time I was like, okay, fine. It's absolutely normal for us to have exam fever. But perhaps if I share the story with you, it would help allay your fear and just take it off your head. Now, the first thing I want to mention is there was a time that, when when my students write the IELTS exam, you see people I've seen people, I've actually, to the glory of God anyway, produced, if I can count by my hands, say about 5 people having 8.5 overall in their exam. Now, I'm not saying 8.5 in a section, 8.5 overall. Now, one thing because this kind of student always interests me, so I try to talk to them and, how, like, this is mind-blowing. How did you get to do it? Now, one thing all of them have in common, all of them, is that they, at the point of taking the exam, they didn't feel something was at stake. There was one person who said, oh, people are always saying the exam is hard and all of that, and I just wanted to write it. I just wanted to, it's not like I really need it now. I just wanted to. And then I asked another person, and he said that, the validity of the results is 2 years. He's thinking of studying outside the country, and he just wants to write it now so that when that time comes, there will be no need. And you realize that there's this calmness. There is nobody, honestly, nobody that I've spoken to who had that amazing result that will say, hey, Jesus, hey, fear grabbed me. There was nobody like that. Okay, so it basically points to the fact that one of the secret ingredients when it comes to writing IELTS and having a very great score is having at the back of your mind as nothing is at stake. I tell my students in class that sometimes when you're writing the exam, the first thing that is on your mind is, oh, Jesus, Canada on this one. Ay, UK, Mutinora. Why for some of us will be like, hey, I've written it plenty time. Jesus, this one. That state of mind, that nervousness, that cloudiness would not allow you to get the best while taking the exam. So you might want to delete this, okay? My own personal story, to just cap up that whole point, is when I first wrote my IELTS, yes, I was really, really scared. I said it in my previous video that I didn't even know the full meaning of the exam. I shall know that it was something like high count, it would be big thing. And I know that it's God that is helping me. It's not like I have brain that much. I have brain system. But, I wasn't really sure of my capability when it comes to acing the exam. And then, thank God for my husband. He said, you know what, Bubati, fail. You just write another one. So just go and try this one. So that basically coming down, let's just go, let's write on. And at the end of the day, I wrote the exam with no stress that even if I fail, I just write another one. and I came out with 8.0 overall my first try, and I had just a month to prepare. So that basically further proves it. So even if whatever information I got from my student, which I believe is genuine anyway, wasn't genuine, this my personal experience also proves it. Another reason why I feel people naturally feel that IELTS is hard is because we have so many confusing information online. We have so many confusing information, confusing materials, confusing tricks, confusing tips, strategies, confusing, I bet to like humbly, confusing tutors as well. I've gone to a particular center to teach for the first time, and when I asked, "Oh, where did you guys? Where did your instructor stop so that I can pick up from there?" And then I realized they have a very bad foundation. Now I knew in my mind that if I hadn't come through by the grace of God, those set of people would have written the exam and failed. And thankfully, I was able to save the day. So the truth is, online, offline, we have so many confusing information. And what I try to do is, I know I can't save the whole world, but whoever comes in contact with me, whoever I have the privilege to tutor, I always try as much as possible to filter those information from them. And I tell them, see, IELTS is not an exam that you pass by reading, like you read this one, you read that one, you read, you wala marry long, like everywhere. Sometimes when people come to the class and they say, shuttering material, have you seen this material? Have you seen this? Go and watch this video. I'll be like, hell, Shimo. Now, you don't understand that IELTS does not thrive in that environment. Reading so much. Now, this is a language test. Some people do not understand it. Language test does it something that has to do with communication, comprehending. It is not it's not something you study per se. I'm not saying that there are some things about IELTS that we don't have to study, because IELTS also have its own uniqueness. You can take it from it. But the thing is, it is the more you study, the more confused you become. But the more you practice, the more clarity you gain. I think that's my favorite line. The more clarity you gain. So please do more practicing than, getting all this confusing information. So I'll move on to my next point. One other thing that I've discovered over time that is responsible for people having that opinion that IELTS has had is influence of the circle they belong to at the time. So when I mean influence of the circle they belong to, so let me replace that with, let's say, friends. Okay, so now I'm going to use my popular set of professionals, like they're so dear to my heart. Okay, so I'm going to use the nurses in Nigeria. So the reason why I say is many people will take IELTS this season. There was a time nurses were not really bothered. It was the whole express entry people. But there's this season now, a trend that you have a lot of nurses, caregivers writing the IELTS exam. Now, sometimes when I take a student, like maybe let's say private class, or I just have that chance after class to have one-on-one conversation with them and all of that. Now, one of the major reasons why I feel a lot of people still hold that mindset that IELTS is hard is, let's say Nurse A is coming for IELTS classes, and then Nurse A heard about Nurse B writing the exam and failed. Nurse C wrote the exam, failed. Nurse D wrote the exam, failed. Now, at the end of the day, when you look around, when you look at this set of people, you see that it's only one head that they have. I see that you too, it's only one head you have. You not be like, so how am I gonna pass it? If this set of people, this like out of 10, about 9 of them are writing the exam and they fail. Now, the truth is, do you know the approach those people took when it comes to writing the exam? Some people are employing the wrong approach, the wrong materials. So many engineering materials online. I'm going to do a separate video on that, God willing. So there's so many things. While for some people, their language ability may not be that strong. Some people actually, they are professionals in their craft, or actually they're experts in their craft. Like they can be intelligent when it comes to their profession, But what if their language ability is not strong? What if their English language ability is not strong? Now, it's not really all about you can speak the language. There's so many aspects the IELTS examiner is going to test you on, like listening skills, reading skills, and writing skills. What if they are not strong in those areas? And then you are here comparing yourself with them. Why not just run your race? Why not just, shut out the noise and just, I know it can be very hard, but it's just what you have to do. Okay, I've seen so many. See, some of my students, see, the moment they are coming for class and then they come with that, I'll tell them, drop it. It's not our business. Just drop it, because it has a way of affecting your mind, which at the end of the day might make you write the test and also not pass. Okay, so trust me, this is one of the major reasons why people kind of feel the IELTS is that they look around and they see, hey, everybody is failing. Not everybody is failing. Again, all to the glory of God. Most of my students, perhaps I'll do a video sharing some of the results of my students and feedbacks and all of that. Many people are acing this exam, even people that you would naturally, even me as an instructor, when I see them, okay, I don't write off my student, but sometimes when you see someone, be like, it is opening my pass by. But at the end of the day, they get to do it, they get to ace the exam, so it's not hard. Now, the last thing I'm going to share with you in this video today is the last reason why I feel many people have this mindset that IELTS is a very difficult exam to pass, and that is language ability. IELTS, like I shared in my previous video, is something that doesn't pass or fail anybody. It is only a test that will tell you, oh, after assessment, this is the level we feel you are when it comes to using this language. Many people do not take care of this root problem. They don't improve on their language skill and they expect to have an outstanding result. It didn't, we didn't, wouldn't, couldn't, can't, shouldn't happen. It won't happen. Now, think of this. If you have a 5-year-old child and you have a 15-year-old child, now the two of them are hungry. Now, the way a 5-year-old child will come to you and say, oh, mommy, I'm hungry, I want to eat, it's not the same way a 15-year-old child will come to you and say, mommy, I think I need some food. Now, it's still the same hunger that is worrying the two of them, but the way they are expressing it is different. Why? Because they have different exposure to this language. So one of the major reasons why people feel the IELTS exam is hard is they do not increase their exposure to this language, and they expect that after taking the test they will get a mark that someone who has a high level exposure to the exam, the score that person is having. Like it cannot happen. So please try as much as possible before you take your exam and before you start feeling that no, is they've ganged up against us and all of that. Try as much as possible to increase your level of exposure to the language before taking the test. Now, this is something that you invest your time, which is paramount, as well as your money into, your energy, your resources. Okay, there's so many things that you're stabbing in order to take this exam. So you want to ensure that you do it well. IELTS is not something that, depending on your level of ability anyway, that you just wake up one morning and say, you know what, it's time to write IELTS o'clock, and then you just register 1 month and then you're good to go. Now, there are some people, it takes them weeks and they will have a very good result. While for some people, they need like more preparation time. Like I said, the British Council would even put on this, I think, saw it on their sites that if English language is not your first language, you need at least 3 months of preparation. Now, this 3 months of preparation is not just for practicing and practicing and practicing. It is also about increasing your exposure to the language. Now, I hope I've been able to, make your mind calm down, like relax. IELTS is not hard. It is basically the mindset. so many things are responsible for this, and I think to a very large extent I've been able to help you debunk some of those things so that it doesn't rule your thought, it doesn't rule your mind, and you're good to go. All right, I hope say this our gist has helped us. I have a class by the grace of I'm class from Confessor video, you know. All right, so I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two from my opinion, okay, basically. So God willing, would see again in my next video. Now if you find this content informative, if you find this content good, useful and insightful, please I'd like you to leave a thumbs up and please subscribe to this channel. You can send this video to a whole lot of people. I know a lot of people tend to hide that they are writing IELTS. You never can tell which of your family member is writing high because they don't want you to know they're going to their bro. But just share, just like we normally share that money prayer to share the video, share it and tell them to like or subscribe. All right, so till like come your way, I'm still for me, and I hope I've been able to help today. See you in my next video. Bye everyone.